Labeling an action as a mistake can lead to feelings of failure, impacting your self-esteem and confidence, which stifles your creativity and willingness to try new things, experiment, and take risks. Welcome to Resilience Gone Wild, where we dive into the incredible stories of nature's adaptation and survival, and discover what animals and plants can teach us about resilience and building our win-win-win mindset. I'm your host, Jessica Morgenthau, a resilience and positive psychology trainer, teacher, author, speaker, coach, and consultant. And today we're talking about the incredible resilience of mama sea turtles. It's about 9:30 a.m., July 5th, on a serene, sun-drenched, sandy beach. The surf is lapping at the shell-strewn shore. Seagulls, sandpipers, and ghost crabs are grazing on hidden morsels. By now, the sun has been up for a few hours, and it's easy to see the many fresh tracks formed by mama sea turtles who built their nest there last night. And also the many tracks from false crawls created when mamas hauled themselves out of the ocean in search of ideal spots for their precious offspring, but felt something wasn't quite right. And still heavy with eggs, they headed back into the sea without nesting to look elsewhere. We're on Singer Island, Florida, just a few miles south of Juno Beach, the densest sea turtle nesting area in the Western Hemisphere, second in the world only to Oman in the Middle East. The globally endangered sea turtle population is thriving here. Credit must be given to the extensive conservation and protective measures implemented beginning in the 1970s when all 7 sea turtle species were found to be gravely endangered. Last year, mama sea turtles built a record 25,000 plus nests in the Juno Beach area alone, and millions of adorable little hatchlings crawled back into the sea.
See the other one? He's pushing his head.
I live much of the year in Singer Island. My neighbor Lynn had just sent me a video on that July morning of a deeply determined mama loggerhead turtle rising out of the surf, hauling her body up the sand and heading up the beach to nest. Lynn's accompanying text humorously noted that someone didn't get the memo, that nesting is a nighttime activity. Maybe this little mama didn't know any better. Maybe she was skittish after noise and lights from the nearby July 4th fireworks the night before. Maybe she'd just been checking out different beach spots all night long, making several attempts at nesting, and was still trying to find one that was good enough. We'll never know her why, but we do know for sure that she was doing the best she could in that moment. Witnessing this ancient ritual, repeated countless times since the age of the dinosaurs 150 million years ago, is a truly awe-inspiring experience. These remarkable creatures often travel thousands of miles from their winter feeding grounds to return in the spring and summer to the very beaches where they were born. Adult sea turtles are miraculously able to navigate back to their birthplace after at least 25 years at sea, using a combination of environmental cues and sensory abilities. As hatchlings emerge from their nests and head towards the surf, they go through a process known as magnetic imprinting. They are believed to have specialized cells containing magnetite, a magnetic mineral, in their brains that work like a permanent GPS system.
Look at this, they know where to go, see? Oh, this is cool. I can't believe you got to see it.
The adult males often make the extraordinary journey back home as well, never leaving the sea but courting the ladies offshore to mate. Nesting is a monumental effort for mama sea turtles. Though they glide effortlessly through the water, dragging their heavy bodies out of the ocean, across the sandy shore, and up the dunes or seawall is an exhausting ordeal. Just imagine the labor required for a 1,400-pound leatherback turtle, the size of a Volkswagen, to complete this feat hundreds of times in her likely 60-plus year lifetime. Loggerhead and green sea turtles, the primary nesters on our local beaches, may average only 300 pounds or so, but it's a Herculean task for them too. And they can live and continue to nest into their 80s. When it's time to nest, these resilient mamas produce clutches of about 80 to 120 eggs. Typically emerging at night when it's cooler and darker, the sea turtle mama crawls out on the surf, guided by instinctual knowledge and skill. She chooses what feels like the optimal time and place to ensure her eggs have the best chance of survival. With only about 1 in 1,000 hatchlings making it to adulthood, she has to give them the best possible start. Seeking a location that feels right, she is always on the lookout for signs of danger to her and her offspring. Using all of her senses, she'll be sure that the time and place is suited for her hour-plus visit. She uses her flippers to check out the sand consistency, dampness, and temperature. Her nest needs to conceal the eggs from predators, maintain the right level of moisture so the eggs don't dry out or drown, be located above the tide line where the eggs are safe from erosion and extreme weather, enable enough air circulation to provide oxygen to permeate the eggs, and be placed where the hatchlings can dig out and reach the ocean efficiently. And the nest must also insulate from extreme temperatures, as the sex ratio of the hatchlings is determined by this crucial factor weeks after the eggs are laid. Hotter temperatures lead to more females. It's easy to remember the formula with the cute saying, hot chicks and cool dudes. Unfortunately, rising temperatures have led to an overabundance of female hatchlings in recent years. To compensate, there are some signs that the turtles are arriving earlier in the season. It's amazing to witness nature's resilient adaptations to challenges driven by us humans. So once Mama has decided that she's found a suitable spot, she will dig a shallow body pit by rotating around and using her flippers to move sand away. Then she uses her rear flippers to dig a flask-shaped egg chamber the length of her flipper, usually about 12 to 18 inches deep. She scoops out the sand carefully, building her precisely constructed chamber. Mama then goes into a trance as her contractions start, and she drops those 100 or so ping-pong ball-looking eggs into the chamber, 2 to 3 at a time. When she's done, she wakes up from her trance and uses her flippers to push sand back into the egg chamber, compacting it to gently protect her eggs. She spends another 15 to 30 minutes or longer throwing sand over the nesting site with her front flippers to camouflage it, disguising it from predators. Only then does she make her way back to the ocean. It's heart-wrenching to observe her clear exhaustion, yet heartwarming to see the care and love that goes into every moment of her nesting. It is truly joyful to watch her enter the ocean knowing that she'll have a little time to rest and recover. Remarkably, each mama turtle goes through this entire process about every 2 weeks, laying an average of 4 to 7 clutches of eggs during a single nesting season. And all during that, she fasts. She builds up her reserves before nesting season so she can focus solely on reproductive activities without needing to waste precious resources searching for food. No wonder she takes a year or 2 off between nesting seasons to fully replenish her energy. Mama sea turtles, like our friend who came up on the beach to nest that July morning, exhaust a vast quantity of precious energy when they false crawl or nest at more challenging times of the day. But they surely don't see them as mistakes. It's all part of their learning process that enables them to nest more efficiently and effectively with experience, giving their offspring and their whole species a better chance of survival. And that brings us to our resilience topic of the day, mistakes, and how you can never make a mistake again. After I learned this important lesson, I have never made another mistake. Does this not making a mistake thing matter? Labeling an action as a mistake can lead to feelings of failure or inadequacy, impacting your self-esteem and confidence. It can create fear of making mistakes, which stifles your creativity and willingness to try new things, experiment, and take risks. Emphasizing mistakes can overshadow learning opportunities, blocking growth and improvement. Consistently pointing out mistakes can create a blame culture within families, groups, and teams, what's known as a lack of psychological safety, leading to a scarcity of trust and collaboration. Highlighting mistakes without recognizing efforts or achievements can damage morale and motivation. Some choices we call out as mistakes are actually steps towards discovery. They're a positive part of the process. And my favorite, it's never all bad. There are always silver linings to anything labeled a mistake. Calling it a mistake automatically judges the result as negative. Seek the positive instead. So let's go back to the basic definition. Making a mistake involves performing an action, making a decision, or forming a judgment that is incorrect, misguided, or not intended. The key here is to focus on the intentionality of the making part. Really, you can't actually make a mistake because in the moment you acted, you thought it was the right thing to do, and you did the best you could with the resources you had. You can only choose to call it a mistake after. Stop and think about that. You did the best you could with the resources you had. You can only choose to call it a mistake after. You can surely still be bummed about the outcome, but you need to own the decision and action. It was intentional and the best you could do in the moment. Okay, so let's explore this. I can feel your skepticism. Bring to mind a recent time when you thought and even said out loud that you made a mistake. Did you do the best you could in that moment, given your state of energy and distraction, skills and experience, ability to understand the situation and options, information, history, the stories in your head, your fears and other negative emotions, your level of confidence? Here's a simple example. I didn't charge my phone last night. I have 4 choices. First, I can say I made a mistake and blame myself for being an idiot or shame myself for getting old and senile or whatever other negative energy I want to lay on myself. I've now cluttered my brain with negative thoughts about myself, which will block me from learning from the experience and doing better next time. Second option, I can blame someone else. Now that's something we typically do too often to deflect feeling lousy about ourselves. Okay, now I have negative thoughts about someone else bouncing around my head. And if I voice that blame, I've damaged someone else's day too, and likely damaged the trust, respect, and joy in our relationship. Third option, I can just move past it by ignoring it and deal with the short-term resulting challenges of my uncharged phone. But if I don't process what happened, it will likely happen again. I have learned nothing to prevent the bad outcome in the future. Or ding, 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 option 4, accept that I did the best I could in the moment, deal with the immediate results, and explore what I can learn from the experience. Figure out what I can change so I can do better next time, and look for silver linings. These 5 steps are your key to modifying your behavior, so you can make the shift from mistake to teachable moment. Just like how the sea turtle will false crawl back into the ocean to re-energize in order to try again, we too can tap into our inner sea turtle. What mistake is coming to mind for you? Did you do the best you could at that decision point? How can you apply this no such thing as a mistake concept to make a better choice next time? Call it what you want, a mistake, error, misjudgment, or goof. It's all the same. You did it intentionally. Own it, learn from it, and work on not doing it again. So next time you think you or someone else has made a mistake, picture the mama sea turtle on the beach and tap into her growth and learning mindset, resilience, and strength. Here are a few ways you can practice resilience in the face of a teachable moment. Embrace imperfection. Remind yourself that you don't need to look perfect, be perfect, or act perfect. Perfectionism can hold you back from what you want to accomplish in life. Keep in mind that perfection is the enemy of good. Ignore your inner critic. Stop worrying about what others think. Approach each day without fear of making a mistake and trust your instincts. Practice mindfulness. At difficult decision points, focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment, without interpretation or judgment. And let's not forget why sea turtles matter to our world and how much they need our help. All sea turtles contribute to maintaining healthy marine ecosystems, including coral reefs and seagrass beds. They play a crucial role in food webs as both predator and prey, and their nesting activities bring nutrition and stability to coastal dunes and beaches. They symbolize longevity, wisdom, and resilience in many cultures for a reason. All 7 sea turtle species are vulnerable, and some are critically endangered. Here are a few ways you can start helping sea turtles today. Donate and volunteer. Support organizations that focus on sea turtle protection and ocean conservation, like Loggerhead Marine Life Center and many others. Advocate. Push for policies and regulations that protect marine life and ecosystems. Educate yourself. Visit aquariums and sea turtle hospitals to connect with and learn more about these incredible creatures up close. Reduce your carbon footprint. Make sustainable choices about transportation, energy use, and what you eat. Use less plastic and dispose of it carefully so we can do better at keeping it out of the oceans. Share knowledge. Educate others by sharing this podcast and spreading awareness about sea turtle conservation. If you're on your phone, share this episode with someone who would really enjoy it. Just look for the share button and send via text. Remember, like the resilient mama sea turtle, we can all navigate life's challenges with strength and perseverance. Thank you for listening to Resilience Gone Wild, where we dive into the incredible stories of nature's adaptation and survival, and discover what animals and plants can teach us about resilience and building our win-win-win mindset. If you've been enjoying our deep dives into the wild world of animal resilience, we've got a little favor to ask. Just like all 7 species of sea turtle keep our coral reefs and seagrass beds, you can help our podcast thrive. Here's how. Rate and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback not only helps us improve, but also helps other listeners discover these amazing stories of resilience. Just like the sea turtle relies on magnetite to point them in the right direction, you too can point a friend, loved one, or fellow nature enthusiasts in the direction of this podcast. Plus, every month, we'll pick a lucky reviewer to receive a special shout out on the show and a chance to ask a question to one of our expert guests. So tap those stars, write a review, and help us keep the spirit of resilience alive and well. And be sure to check out the show notes where there's lots of resilience activities, tons of photos, videos, and info on our beloved resilient sea turtles and how you can make a difference. I hope you'll post a comment, subscribe to my newsletter, and drop me an email. Maybe we'll read it on the show. It would be so much fun to connect. So long for now.
This has been a production of BLI Studios, produced by me, Kai. Follow along with our other BLI produced shows at balancinglifesissues.com/podcast-BLI. Got an idea for the show? Email me, Kai, at balancinglifesissues.com. And don't forget to stay in touch with your host, Jessica, at jessica@winwinwinmindset.com. Anything else to add, Miles?
Yeah.